A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house. Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it. My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up. I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Oh, if I remember, this is a very old.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
There's a bunch of newspapers too.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Now, I'm pretty sure I just noticed that looks like my character is pregnant. I have to say, this game still looks really good after some
In
years.
her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Look, there's 2 ways there we go. Wait.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Did you say both?
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. I asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband.
Oh. Okay. Did I miss anything on this map? Yeah, it's storybook, so I guess. I don't know if I should really be talking much or the gameplay.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Alright. Anything back here? Okay. Right. Dog door.
I heard something moving around in the garage.
Should I go in the garage then, I guess? Oh, okay. I think
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
I'm surprised you just didn't open the door.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
I mean, cause I don't look like I should be climbing through doggy doors.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
Quite the house.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
I don't like the way that pot's staring at him.
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
Book of... Are any of these actual books?
Or how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
What's this? It's an actual recipe. Hold up. Let's see here. Yeah, that looks about... Actually, for double crust pie. Okay. Huh. Quite a lot of wine bottles too. Yeah, that's a lot.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Yeah.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
It's completely sealed shut. Eesh. Why are there so many food books? Oh, okay, you can build two to zoom.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Old lady chairs. I sit in it.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Oh. That photograph. Oh, it's a movie set. Okay. Done.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
The original house? So this isn't the house? Like, what the? Not even the first house. Oh. Very interesting. Oh, I just went back in the kitchen.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
So they left 7 years ago based on hearing that.
It was like a
So
bomb had
that's
gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Oh.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Eesh. Gross. Probably smells horrible too. It's been like a family argument. What? Oh, there, all that's left is the stairs now. Is this front door locked? Okay, so I had to go through the garage. It just happened to so.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Oh. Some of them don't entirely sit right with this family. What? What is it exactly? Oh, look at the door. It's so adorable. Got to save the mouse princess. Bugs. Oh, what the? Alright.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Very empty.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
20,000 under the sea.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
I'm sorry, what?
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Okay. I am just happy to imagine stumble upon it in the right direction, I'm assuming, but I'm curious, what's up with this first? Sven... What is it, Sven's room? Calvin's?
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Or then? Is that a string? That...
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Oh. So is she the youngest in that?
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Portrait. Can't be that. It's your portrait, right? Oh wait, there's another door.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it. Mom must have locked the 3rd floor stairs on the night we left.
Huh. Alright.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Oh, sleeping. Okay, so
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Yo, that's crazy. Orca. School? Dissecting the, starfish. Take it she really enjoys wildlife. Sure looked like it.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here. Before my mom sealed the doors.
Oh. adorable kitty ears. It's from 37 to 47. She died when she was 10? Interesting. I thought that was a fish in the book for a second.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Oh. Oh, am I her? Her.
My Halloween candy was all gone. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
You locked your kid's door though. I'm not touching that. And the fish. Alright, I don't like where this is going.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Where's her gerbil?
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Alright. Oh. Oh, don't tell me she ate it.
I kept eating and eating.
Oh, that's gross. Oh. That's why you can't do that. Aren't those like poisonous?
I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly,
Oh, what the?
I was a cat.
Oh. I am the cat. Okay. Go. Okay, press this. What the heck?
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Gonna eat you. Yeah. This is Stray before Stray.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Oh. Down here. Yeah.
I jumped and I almost got her.
Angry kitty noises. Are you in a treehouse now? Do I have to hop on here first? Oh, I have to hop on there first. Okay.
I could
Yeah.
tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Very hungry child.
I gobbled her up,
There we go.
and suddenly I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Oh. Wait. Oh, I'm flying, okay. Like... Do any teeth in the grass?
Rabbits.
Oh, rabbits. Oh, I gotta try and grab it. Oh.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and
Oh.
I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Well then. Oh, you know what they say about kids' imaginations, I guess. Oh, I didn't mean to press that.
A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
I'm sorry, what? Oh. I'm sorry, what the heck? What is this? Flippity floppity. Give me your property. Ah.
I rolled off the cliff
Up.
and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Alright then. Oh. Okay, I'm trying to get that fish that's right there.
I wanted
not fish,
fat,
just a seal.
juicy sauce.
Man,
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
we're just reenacting the National Geographic right now, aren't we? There he is. Oh, this controls are weird though.
I grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water.
I'm sorry, what?
When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Wait, what? Oh, what the heck am I now? What is... Oh, this is weird. As far as... Oh? What am I supposed to do? Oh, this is weird. Oh, this is a move. Okay.
Now I was a monster and I smelled people everywhere.
Oh. I don't know how I feel about that one, Chief. I don't like where this is going.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Oh, don't tell me I'm gonna eat someone. Okay. Alright. Kids' imagination. Something else here. And then we're gonna go up here.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Hey.
His belly was rusty.
Shaved his belly with a rusty razor.
His belly was rusty razor. What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor?
Kind of messed up. Oh, okay, on to class.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. Across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
Ugh, kind of shivers down my spine.
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
What the heck? Ah, from the toilet. Come on. Ah, that's gross. Wait, are you back in her room? Okay, can't climb up that way. Oh, don't tell me we're
I
gonna
got
end up
closer
eating
and
her
closer.
hamster or gerbil. Oh, no. Not the poor hamster. Not the poor
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
All right. That was genuinely terrifying. Holy jeebus. What the heck, 10-year-old? We have the family tree here. So I'm assuming all the way at the top, off to the tippy top. Edith, that would be us. Considering similar kind of clothing, and that she doesn't seem to have a death date, but also it looks like, I'm assuming the leaves, or like these big outer leaves, are family members. outside of cousins and stuff that I don't have a death date either, so I don't know if they're dead or yet to discover. So we have Milton, Lewis, Gus, Gregory, Sanjay, Kay, Don, Sam, Walter, Odin, Igborg, Eddie, Sven, Calvin, Sam, Barbara. Oh, we're just closing the book. Did I just hear a cat? Oh, it's a cat. Oh, I guess we're here and we do go this way. Isn't it a bit dangerous to go this way? I can't go back now, can
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Alright.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Oh, this is great grandma's. A lot of birds. They all have their own Derpy Jr. I would totally name a bird named Derpy. Or Derpy. Derpy Senior. Bob. Oh, they're not all birds. You're a snake. Let's get a name on. Eerie. The water and black. The dreams and the witch. The finches. A falling block? Okay. Down at the deep. Burpee. Derpy, burpee, slurp, derpy. Rob. Oh, what's Rob? Are you a bearded dragon? Can't tell. Junior. Slurpy. Purpley. Burpee. Zerpy. Zerpy's in a...
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
And that's sweet. What's this?
Lewis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Oh. Sam. Don. Gus. Very. That seems pretty dangerous to keep in
Her
your
room was like a museum.
Oh, Odin. That looks like another story to start. Let's not start it just yet. Grandma. A shark? Favorite
Even
shark?
in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Oh.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Hmm. Alright.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Okay. Mural sketches of our concepts. Lewis Borgach. Hey, the Jungle Book. That was just all of the wild. Oh, okay, there are a couple. Land, a search of lost time. Roads. The camera. Interesting. Interesting. Mole man
Edie gave a
beneath the
big interview
house?
about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Okay.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Oh, she's Edith. Your friend, the Bigfoot Edith interview? I'm young. Sam Medal Ceremony. Yeah, Sam's Total Award 69. Oh, movies, weird. America. Conspiracy Net. Shrine sketches? Alright. Oh. Oh, Devere. Finch. Mysteries of Death and Thereafter. Oh, what?
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
Do I just click button again? Oh, okay, but I have to hold it.
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
So it's his wife. Okay. So why...
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
I'm sorry. This person tailed a whole house through the ocean. What? Okay.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
Oh.
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Whoa. Okay. Odin kind
Whatever's
of
wrong with this
crazy,
family,
bro.
it goes back a long ways.
Okay, so the leaves that are out in the open, those are spouses, okay. But I don't know. That's a spouse, uncle, or something like that. Because all the leaves are not attached to the tree. K is kind of attached to the tree. Interesting. Door sealed. Wait, even Grandma's door was sealed? Oh, I mean, yeah, it's just Grandma's room. It is. And also. How did they hear the schematic for the house? Damn. Quite the handsome fellow. It's got the doors. So she lived up to be about 90. Who's that though? She has a cast on her. Oh. So used to games nowadays, you just rub up against a door. Forget other games like this, you actually have to interact with the ding door.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Yeah. Quite the funky bathroom. Yeesh. Could have said maybe a little too much, eh? Oh. Did I really have to step on the toilet? There's a secret in his bathroom. Okay.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the cool thing is, because I guess you can't see that, is I actually had to use the left stick for those two on the left. And the stuff on the right, I had to use the right stick. Which is pretty cool. Many games do that. Finch.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Ooh. Interesting. Now, I am on next gen, and I think they gave this game a little bit of haptic feedback. So sort of just built it. Surprised you would come back here all by yourself, though. Oh, we're in Calvin's room now. Calvin. Certificate of. I can't read that. Oh, it's cameras. Island High School certificate. Okay.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
Oh, Sam and Calvin. Oh. Calvin died at 61. 68, it was Sam's turn.
And that he never talked about him.
There's one thing that shares the strongest, it's definitely twins, so to lose basically your other half could be very depressing. We're going
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Calvin's story.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Looks like I have a broken foot there. Oh, okay. I gotta use post-it sticks to push myself. Yeesh.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
Oh.
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
What the heck?
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Brother
I
Bear.
told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Don't tell me what
Calvin!
happened.
I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up,
Oh.
then maybe
Lord.
he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about
Oh
my
my
brother.
This makes me uncomfortable because I'm not a big fan of heights. Oh, oh okay. Oh, you flipped. Yeah. Oh, and again. Oh, crap. Okay.
The day he made up his mind to
Oh.
fly. And he did.
Oh. Okay, that made me a little uncomfortable there. I got too into that. Yeesh.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Poor Calvin.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
So what happened to Sam? Oh, let's not go back to that side. Oh, we're here? I'm sorry. What the heck? Squeaky toy. ADHD moment. God damn it. I remember. Do I gotta push? Oh no, I left, okay. I don't think pregnant ladies should be lifting that kind of stuff, but these some crazy secrets right here. Oh, Jeebus. What's that?
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Yeah, that's about right. Oh, we're in Barbara's now.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
It's like a Bigfoot story or something?
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Is there anything? What's this?
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
Oh. Take a drink
As
of
a
water while
child
this plays.
star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been.
Yeah.
But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
That's
It
very
was
cliche
Barbara's
scream.
father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room.
Ouch.
So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orca's Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue.
Interesting.
She reached for the music box.
Wait, but didn't he just go in the garage? Shouldn't that be in the door? Because, like... Okay. You know, just don't think about it too hard.
And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out.
Oh.
But she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Oh, god dang. Here we go again. Hey, Myers.
breathing, but all she heard was...
Oh, what's this? I didn't even notice this was here. What is this? Is it just a chair? Oh, it's just a chair.
Someone at the door,
What did the Michael Myers
dying
done
to
this?
speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Oh.
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Well then.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Okay. Okay, I kind of now want to go and check the stairs. Did she fall and
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Because she would have found out that the I didn't notice that though when we first got here, that was broken. So did Barbara fall then? I thought... and boyfriend drowned and...
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
I didn't notice any creatures. Oh, Sven's story now?
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Yep. Leave it to the needles to stop one from going. Says. Sorry, I ended up cutting his hand.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Packages? Yeah, let's go this way.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
What was she hiding?
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Looks like Walter got to live pretty long though. 52 to 205. I was 5 years old. Okay. 52. Alright, he got to live a decent age. But he kept himself busy. Would he have been able to survive perfectly fine? I thought we need at least some sunlight to survive.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane.
I have to hold the R2 button and spin the right stick, okay? This is weird.
Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
He just downs a can of peaches every day.
And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Okay. Can't go this way. Oh, I gotta go this way. Oh. So many books I have also realized. Like, maybe a bit too many books.
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it.
My question is where's Sam?
I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
That's messed up.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
That sucks.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
My question is, how is a train running all the way out here? Like,
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
delivered.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2,
Wait.
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself.
Alright.
And found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
What's that?
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
Is that the old house out there?
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
Oh, that's the old house. I managed to make it? But not entirely.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Backside of the house now.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
Pretty morbid.
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Oh, this way. Oh. Family cemetery.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
Oh. These are all pets.
3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
What? Bob Shadow Crystal. Trying to tuck your Coco Zoe, dude. Oh. An entire section dedicated
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Molly, Calvin, and Edie, Walter, Barbara.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Odin's.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Out there. Oh, okay, I pushed myself out of it.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Oh, I had to sneeze. I didn't want you all to hear that. That one probably blasted you for years. Okay, so it was the old house that I saw. It's great that it's just right there still. Even after all those years. Pontoon? Yeah, that's right. Pontoon. Whatever that platform's called again.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Sam, Gus, and Finch. Milton, Sonia.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
Into the treehouse we go. I'm worried if all this movement she's doing is something will happen.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Yeah. Oh, this is very dangerous.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Sam's story finally?
They were both pretty intense.
Oh, did he take up taxidermy? Oh, he even served.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Stop taking. Looks like he
Instead of
managed to
hiding
get
from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
It's trying to take it. Okay. Oh, right here. I just happened to pass it. Okay. The heck?
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
What? It's too early, Dad.
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? We'll never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are. Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee. Hey!
That's a keeper.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Dawn, man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail with deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
God, great. Oh, this way?
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Now keep yourself squared up, elbows down, like we practiced. Whenever you're ready.
Oh, I had
Great
to press
shot,
the
Dawn.
trigger.
I'm proud of you, Dawn.
Oh.
Always remember that,
Oh,
okay?
that's weird. Okay, okay.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
some...
normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Oh.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Oh. Poor Sam. Still kept the little toy astronaut through his brother. Oh, so there's something else. Guess back down we go. Where do you go from here? A window, maybe? Don't do any of those either. Maybe back up here, is there something I missed? Oh, right here. Through here now.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
about everything. I know what happened wasn't your fault.
I see Marie.
I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Oh. Oh. Poor baby. So leaves Gus, Eddie's, Lewis, and Milton. Oh, and Dawn. Is Dawn our character's mother? Because that photo it showed.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet.
And poem for Gus.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Oh. Just bumping everything. Oh. Oh, what the?
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Oh. Alright then. Well, aren't you a rebellious boy? Why? Oh, wait.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Wait, did it just all appear? It did. What the heck? Okay.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had completely made. Thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, make the music louder.
I don't like where this is going. This looks very terrifying. Oh.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Oh. He gets swept up in the storm?
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
That just leaves Eddie, Don, Bill. Don. Don's bed's very empty. How do I get up there? Somewhere this way? Look like it. Ooh, the wind's picked up outside. That's nothing bad. Oh, here we go. Duty. Dawn, sweep trash, Gus, mop, mow yard, Greg, be a baby. Routine, jump around, mailbox and back, raise the flag, breakfast, quiet time. Oh.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Her mother's spot?
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Oh. Sanjay's her husband. Like in copy passport for center. Need to relief rep after the teaching. She's got a journal here, but I guess we're not doing that yet.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
Louis, her brother.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again.
Melted. Those buckets? Buckets, and then Edith.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last.
Scientific method. Yeah. That's I remember scientific method.
Beginning at the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Oh.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Didn't have a death date? Okay, he had the window. Oh, I actually had to do that. Game's not as long as I thought it was gonna be. But then again, storybook games aren't normally as long. Oh. That's a cool pulley system.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Oh, okay. Wait. What do I do? Oh, okay. Oh, it's like one of these. Okay. I have to hold R2 and then push on the left stick. Milton was an artist. closed the door and left?
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
So... It says 2003, so was his body ever discovered, or is it... So, he's not confirmed, passing. Are there any hints? Just, wait.
Mom spent months searching for my brother.
Okay.
Then she sealed the doors.
Wait, go back up. I didn't mean to go down. I meant to... God. I'm gonna poor pregnant lady for my mistakes. There. Or spin-off to the game, maybe? Or sequel? Cause like, he could have just gone somewhere. This is the door he supposedly disappeared through.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Take it to go up now.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Whoops. This is broken. Interesting. Just walk forward.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Alright.
Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Oh. Oh. Ouch. That's a bit of a thing to throw out there, considering the whole thing that's been going on. Yoga ball. Don Finch. What's this?
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to... wander.
Oh, wander. Oh! I have to control this with the left stick, and I gotta do the fishing with the right side. Oh, okay.
I asked him to describe it.
Oh, crap. This is difficult.
He said he started small.
Oh, okay.
Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. Things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
Grab the fish. Back off.
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
So did he become non-alcoholic? I'm assuming whatever he went to smoke.
But he found something more.
Oh, okay, I'm still moving. Alright.
I worried about him then.
Ugh, okay.
Daydreaming at the cannery.
Yeah, that's kind of dangerous.
I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis.
Oh. Just bait the blade. Oh, you missed. Oh, you missed again. Ah, dang it. Wasn't quick enough.
So I let him go on.
Stop. Stop. Yup. Okay. Shouldn't be horsing around it. Where the hell am I now? Okay, I just keep moving, I guess. Oh my god, that's funny.
I even encouraged him.
Bait the blade.
It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Doggo. Hello, doggo.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won.
Oh, okay, it's Mario jumping down flagpoles.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Visual representation of ADHD. Just wandering away, you know.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
St. Louis, of course.
He started drifting away from our reality.
Too fast.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Did you find a bee over there?
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen.
But that the question is sexuality? I'm not entirely sure. What was...
The queen was on her own quest for...
I want to radiant rainbows.
Radiant rainbows.
Oh, okay, this is just... Let me guess, that's, you know, yeah, it's further you get in the distraction, you're forgetting something and...
He followed the sound of her...
Oh, just looked over the rainbow there. Okay.
silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Oh, this is trippy.
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Is that what he's supposed to look like?
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
This is trippy.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Sharing the chase of the queen.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Oh. Now in the first person view. Dang. That transition. Oh. The door is all... Okay. I take it this is supposed to be the locker rooms. This is.
He began to forget the world we know.
Fishery.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
You wearing a football jersey? Oh. Wait, so how the heck was the mom standing? Okay. Okay, so yeah, he really lost in his imagination right now. Keep pushing the fish for himself. Oh, I gotta go up here. Okay.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Oh!
The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
Too many Calico.
taken his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Ugh.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Oh. Oh. That's a very upsetting way to go. Eesh. Eesh.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
That was the breaking point. That's why they left 7 years ago.
I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Edith. This is her room?
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now was to tell you about that last night.
Her quilt.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. When she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Last night before we go.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance, or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, The tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
But now I'm the grandma right now.
But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Oh, this is dizzying. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know where I'm going.
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
The old house.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
I would do this when I was a kid, so I'm not surprised.
A few years went by.
Oh, okay, I gotta use the...
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot.
Oh.
The rest happened pretty quickly.
Oh.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Am I being born?
This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
yeah.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Oh, so the start we were her son, and then... Story by Giant Sparrow, or Shirley Dallas. Lion Dallas. Good old classic photos. I'm assuming these are all their photos. I always enjoy good storybook games. That's a nice thing about them. You still have some control, but you have a story to listen to enjoy. This is definitely one of the more sadder ones, though. Alright, well, I appreciate for everyone who was joined today. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. I hope you have a good rest of your day.